Hi you guys, welcome back to my channel. This is TikaTime. I'm your family philosopher here to help make sense of all the chaos that we're all living in. Families don't fall apart because of bad kids or bad parents. They actually just don't have shared systems in place. Let me explain. So today's topic is, are you missing leadership and systems in your family that are cohesive? Like, does everybody know what the end goal is? And have you talked about it? And have you and your spouse sat down and made them? Like, what do you want your family in 10 years to be like? You know, all those like really hard, in-depth questions that take a long time to think about. You need to sit and think and, figure them out first. Now, as parents, like, we have different responsibilities between, husband and wife. And a lot of times, mamas out there, like, it is our responsibility to make sure that we are developing the systems within our families to get them to our goal on a daily basis, right? Like, we are the ones that are putting that, whatever that is that we're deciding on for our systems and our goals every day, like, that is at the forefront. So for example, like in my family, developing a close relationship with each other and an honest one is really important. Okay, so that every day is the forefront. Like, are you talking to your siblings with care and responsibility? And if not, because we're human and we don't always say the right things, are we apologizing and are we being aware that we are making mistakes and taking responsibility for them? So, of course, now if it's a shared system, mom and dads, we got to do it too, right? And teens out there, just if your parents are not doing it and you're just blaming them, like, you can be a really good example too. And remember, like, hey, we have the system, right? Remember, like, we decided that this is something that is really important to all of us, is great communication and maybe just like a very soulful friendship, that you can carry on into their adulthood. And as they become adults, are we taking care of that relationship with our spouse too, right? So parents, we set the emotional tone for our kids, and then they will take that. So again, it's going to come from us. We are the leaders. We have to decide. Together it can be decided too, but we are the last ones that are like, okay, this is what we're doing. And you know what? That can change. Like, maybe there are those 3 to 5 things in your family that are unnegotiable, that are, you cannot negotiate on. But maybe like this month you're working on this thing, or this season we're working on this thing, and that can change. But, like having a family meeting once a week, we do that all the time. Everybody sits down. Usually it's Sunday. That's our day to kind of reset and plug, back into ourselves as a unit, and decide what our goals are even for that week. So parents set those emotional tones and that example that we have open communication with our kids. And if there's some coaches out there that are watching, same thing, make sure that you have those systems in place with your teams, that there is that open communication to understanding where everybody's coming from and giving that mutual respect. So teens, you guys will thrive on systems if you know what they are. Any human being, we thrive on systems. So when the expectations are not clear or consistent, then we just don't do anything. Like, literally, this is why we procrastinate. So if you're not doing your math homework or science homework, you probably don't understand it. And so that's why you're not wanting to do it. There's no clarity in, how you're going to, spend the next 2 hours studying. And so you just like kind of put it off. And that's everybody. So whenever there's something that we're like insecure or not unsure about, we just tend to not want to do it. Okay, so lastly, we want to be calm leaders. So, parents, coaches, and even teens, of course, us as being parents and, coaches that you guys are looking up to, of course, we want to be perfect. Okay. We don't want to yell. We don't want to nag. We don't want to have to say it a million times. But there are those situations that call for it. And that is just part of being a human. So, give grace where it's deserved, and also be introspective and think about, okay, literally, did she tell me 10 times? Because you got to take responsibility for that. Like, you're trying to not make a mistake 10 times. Like, the evolution on that, it's going to take you like 80 years, right? So we want to kind of not take a long time to learn the things that, we're supposed to be working on right now. That's responsibility. That's why it's hard, because you kind of have to be conscious of things that you say and do on a daily. But as you do that, the more you do that, you're going to be better at it when you're in your 20s and so on for your own kids one day. So calm leadership, we're going to try and do it, and you're going to try and build that as a young adult. So peace comes from leadership and not control. And we have to make sure that, again, these systems that we have in place with our family are agreed upon, and we're kind of helping our kids understand, well, this is why it's important. As we go through all these wonderful memories and family, that we want to reflect back on, this cohesive unit that we created, that we get to have this friendship lifelong. So I hope you guys got some, great value out of this topic today. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe. And remember, I have a company named Carpe Diem Academics, and we help student athletes and their families and coaches all succeed, not only in their sport, but in school and in life. So I will see you guys next time. Thanks for your attention, and see you later. Bye.